There are demons. Demons crawling through the guts of this ruined city, so my Space Marines, the 13th, are here to drive them back in this Warhammer 40k battle report. And these are the Space Marines I will be unleashing today. Mainly the second company of the 13th, mainly Primaris Marines, and Space Marines have the special rule Oath of Moment, and this is a Gladius task force. Oath of Moment gives the commander ability to point at a unit and really pressurize that unit with bonuses to hit and wound. And Gladius Strike Force gives you some tactical flexibility as the commander can call out individual doctrines once per battle. Leading the charge, 2 lieutenants leading 2 big squads of intercessors here. Intercessors have been updated. For all the updated rules, go to warhammercommunity.com. But essentially, intercessors, if they point all their guns at the same target, they get double number of shots. And I have to say, 10 intercessors with lieutenants are currently my favourite units to run around. They're strong, but not overpowered, turbo broken. And the lieutenant gives them lethal hits and the ability to fall back, shoot and charge. Behind them, I've got 6 aggressors with flamestorm cannons, 6 inceptors, jumpy dudes with all the bolt shells, and a unit of scouts there, snuck in, staying hidden, keep it secret, keep it safe, and they can jump up and get placed back down again. They have an uppy-downy special rule. They can sneak away and come back again, and they're mainly there to get me secondary objectives. Those sort of objectives that come up mid-game, run off and score this, go over there, do this action here. And I've got 5 assault intercessors as well, kind of to run as action monkeys. Actually, I've got another unit of 5 assault intercessors here, but they're going to be inside that repulsor executioner with a really big gun. They're there to keep the repulsor executioner safe, mainly, or to do actions, as I said. And then there's a couple of gladiator valiants for some extra gun, and a couple of fire strike servo turrets here. 2 units of 2. You don't see them very often, but I like them a lot. They hit on 2s, they're tough with the auto cannons. They're chucking out 3 damage a time, but they have a lot of shots, so they can put down a lot of damage at a time. And then leading the force is not Darnath Lysander with a unit of assault terminators. When he's leading a unit, if the strength of any weapon that targets that unit is equal or higher the toughness of that unit, then they're -1 to wound. So he turns them into absolute chonky boys. And they've got 4 wounds each. And once per battle, he can have a once per phase 2-up invulnerable save. So that means it should take quite a bit of punch to get through this unit, or 1 really big demon. Oh, I should also mention as well that this is 2,250 points on the nose. It was going to be a 2,000 point game, but Pootle, who is my guest, who is turning up today, wanted to add another massive demon to his list. And he asked me, so can I add another massive demon? And I'm like, I'm not scared. Bring as many demons as you want. Let's go. So this is 2,250 points. And welcome back to the channel. Pootle, say hi, Pootle.
Hi, Pootle.
Why Nurgle demons?
Oh, it goes all the way back to the very early 90s, some old white dwarfs, when I just saw some descriptive articles in the fluff around Nurgle demons, and them kind of just being cuddly and friendly and just slobbering over you with acidic maws and rotten flesh. It was just fun.
They are so friendly, aren't they? The Nurgle ones.
Yeah, they'll kill you with kindness.
They're having a good time.
They just want to party. They're not evil.
No.
They want to bring everybody back to life and have the party and join in giggling with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you fancy joining?
No. And here are the Nurgle demons with so much personality. 1 minute, I need to zoom in. Who's this guy?
This is Horticulus Slimux.
He's like a Games Workshop official model.
He's
Look
a
at it.
one, a little sort of weird snaily thing with a dangling. I love the little dangling nurgling to encourage him on.
Yeah, because in the Monkshow collection, you've got these absolutely mental conversions that you've done. Then you've got, because it's you've brought an old lead model along, which can kill a man at 50 bases.
Yes.
We've got sloppity bile pipers and things like. There's so much personality with the Nurgly things.
Yeah.
And then at the back, you've got a great unclean one and another one. What's this huge thing over here?
So this thing is a friend of mine who's an artist.
Yes.
He saw my great unclean one and said, "Oh, I can do that," and built that using a 3D pen. It's built up layer by layer by hand.
Right.
And I love the fact that he's in a little basket, and there's a greater demon called Gangrel, apparently.
Gangrel.
Who is slightly taller and thinner than a regular Great Unclean One, and his legs have wasted away.
Right.
So without knowing it, I think my friend Ed has built Gangrel.
Right.
And he's just absolutely fantastic.
Okay. So, that's going to proxy as Roticus for this, because Roticus is the named Great Unclean One.
Yep.
And Great Unclean Ones are toughness a billion wounds, and they don't die.
I mean, good luck.
Yeah.
They can die, but you'll need to concentrate quite a bit of firepower on them.
As far as Great Demons are concerned, you've got the Khorne ones, for example, which is uber killy.
Yep.
The Nurgle, at the other end of the scale, we have Nurgle, which are less killy, but really, really resilient.
Yeah, they basically all Nurgle demons generally are just that little bit tougher.
Yes.
So these guys are toughness 12 base.
Yes.
But then any demon within 6 inches of the regular Great Unclean One gets +1 toughness, which includes himself. So he's toughness 13. And that pushes Plague Bearers up. It pushes everybody up that little bit, makes them that little bit harder to kill.
Nice.
He's also got an enhancement that you can't target any demons who are within 6 of him from outside 18 inches away, just to try and protect him on turn 1.
So that would include him as well. So basically, if him and any units within 18 inches, I try and shoot them. I can't shoot
outside
them.
18,
need to get within
close.
18 to. Okay, so that
confront.
increases the resilience there. We've got 2 demons, one walking on foot, one flying away.
Yeah, a bit like Roticus and the Great Unclean One. The walkie one is a bit more defensive. He gives out stealth. He's got a relic that gives plus an additional AP to units nearby.
Right.
The winged one can get +3 attacks once a game, and he can select either lethal, sustained, or precision when he goes into fight, just generally. So he's a bit more potentially killy, but they're demon princes. They're not super hard, but they'll cause a mess of some Marines, hopefully.
Yeah, and you got 2 of them.
And I got 2 of them. So
It's
the redundancy thing. I've got two Great Unclean Ones, 2 of them.
Who's this guy as well?
This is from my bits box.
Yes.
It's got all sorts of lovely bits on it, particularly like the boat drone shell.
Yes.
He is
Hellbrute
playing,
hammer there. I like it. That's good.
He's playing as a giant Chaos Spawn,
Right.
Legends choice, who is basically a great big spawn. So he's got 10 wounds, toughness 9. He's got a 5-up invuln, and he gains D3 wounds in each player's command phase.
Right.
So he's tanky, but he's not a tank.
Right.
So he can die, but he's just like a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of resilience, and you'll have to focus your fire, and then everything else will come and give you a hug.
Talking about tanky but not a tank, what's this back here?
So he's officially a Jabba Slide, so he's an old resin model who's I bent one of the things on his wings slightly, but I absolutely adore the model. I bought him just because he was such a cool model.
It is a very cool model.
Yeah, I really love the sort of the making it a little bit kind of the realistic-ish, in as much as it's not very realistic a model, but it just looks like it's just crawled out of a swamp.
Oh, the paint job on there as well is epic. Well done.
Thank you. So he's playing as a spined Chaos Beast.
Right.
So he's toughness 11, 5-up invuln, 12 wounds.
Right.
And his thing is that when he charges in, at the end of the charge move, he can cause mortal wounds.
Okay. So basically, great kit and the spawn and the demon. You've got some big monsters which are tanks but not tanks, ready to go smashing in and do some stuff, and some two big chunky things in the backfield. And then we have Chaos Beasts.
I don't really like the Beasts of Nurgle, the GW ones. Although Nurgle's meant to be cuddly, they're a little bit too cuddly. So these are 3D prints from somewhere on Tinternet.
Right.
I love the vomity one, and the guy stuffing a leg into his mouth. Yeah, and the snail one kind of references the Horticulus Slimux thing.
Right.
And the thing about Beasts of Nurgle is they're toughness 9 with 7 wounds.
Yes.
And they will recover all lost wounds at the end of each phase. So you've got to kill them in a phase.
Toughness 9, 7 wounds, and they do what now?
They at the end of every phase, they regenerate all lost wounds.
Right. So if they're not dead,
then
they'll be fine.
Yeah.
So in the shooting phase, you shoot them, get them down to 1 wound, and they're fine again.
Bing. Yeah.
And then in the assault phase, if you punch them and don't kill them, bang, they're fine again.
You've got to concentrate your fire, which is good, because there's a lot of stuff. Hopefully you will kill them,
right? But
you'll then have to let something else come and slobber over you.
Well, it's I bet they're tough, and then the tough, and then the tough, and the tough.
It's the I like that about the monogod thing. There was certainly earlier in earlier editions, the Nurgle demons were really, really weak because they couldn't kill anything at all.
Yes.
They were tough because they all had the 5-up feel no pain.
Yes.
But they were so not killy that you couldn't do anything with them. And I like the balance of they can put some damage out and they still feel quite resilient as well. without being impossible to kill and annoyingly difficult to kill.
Yeah, that's the point. I mean, they've got lots of lethal hits almost everywhere, just like the Death Guard Space Marines. So if they hit you on 6s, they're going to wound.
Most things do that.
But it's all about the tank.
Yeah.
It's all about tanking. It's all about taking it. Barely any shooting in this entire force.
Yeah, I've got like a couple of... These guys have got some Vomit at 12-inch range.
Vomit.
Also hitting. He's got the Demon Princes have got their Warp Bolter things.
Yes.
And this guy's got a Disgusting Sneeze.
Okay.
Which is...
Because you got 3 units of Plague Bearers here.
Plague Bearers
Sloppity Bilepiper with a Disgusting Sneeze.
Spoilpox Scrivener with a
That's
Disgusting
the one.
Sneeze.
Yes.
They all do. They make little bit things. So he will give them.
What a great model.
It's a lovely one. Yeah. He gives them crits on 5s.
Right.
This fella gives them +1 move and can reroll advances. The Sloppity Bilepiper, and also he makes you take battle shock tests in the fight phase. I'll come on to that in a sec.
Okay.
And the Poxbringer. What does he do?
He does
crits on 5s.
He does crits on 5s.
And the Scrivener is... Oh yeah, he gives sustained hits in melee.
Right.
And +1 OC. So these guys are all OC3.
Right. Basically characters to make Plague Bearers better.
Yeah.
And then for even more stuff...
Plenty of Nurglings.
Nurglings all over
gun
the place.
Stuff up. And Furies from...
4 wounds each.
4 wounds each.
But only a 6 up in front of us.
And toughness 3 or toughness 4 if they're near him.
Toughness 4 if they're near that. Yeah, they're all OC1 though, so they can't do actions.
OC0.
But they will OC0, but they'll stop anything charging up the battlefield. And then Furies, OG Furies.
Legends choice. These things are the proper GW sculpts. These things I bought from somewhere in Canada on the internet about 2 weeks before Games Workshop released these back in 8th edition. I was like, oh damn it! But they're quite cool sculpts, and I just wanted some Furies.
Yeah. And so they give you some much needed speed for your army because Nurgle tends to be a bit slow.
Yeah, but that does mean that they've got toughness. They're only toughness 3, and they'll die to a stiff breeze in that classic.
Right.
And then, but I can move around. I can do actions, and if you're shooting at them, I guess you put some bolter fire in, and they'll fall over. But
so 250 Nurgle Demons.
Yeah.
What do Nurgle Demons do again? What's demons? What's the demons thing?
So demons generally have got this thing called the Shadow of Chaos.
Yes.
Which is always on in my deployment zone. Is on in the midfield if I control more objectives than you. And the basic idea is that I get benefits to battle shock tests and recover wounds if I'm forced to take a battle shock in the Shadow of Chaos.
Right.
And you get penalties to battle shock tests and take wounds if you fail.
Okay.
We'll keep track of it.
Battle shocking, whenever you're forced to make normal battle shock tests, whenever they are, you get a bonus and you can recover wounds and models if they're battle line.
Yes.
So like Plague Bearers and Nurglings, you can actually put wounds or models back in if you pass the battle shocks. And then me, I could end up taking mortal wounds and negatives to my battle shock. And there's things to make my battle shock even worse.
And the particular thing with Nurgle Demons is that if you're within 9 inches of any of my models, you're in my Shadow of Chaos. And therefore, you'll trigger that rule for you. And doesn't work for me.
Yes, and therefore my battle shock is -1 as well. So long as I'm within 9 of you. Okay, cool. All right, let's go on to deployment. So demons are crawling through the ruins of this blasted cityscape, and the Space Marines of the 13th are standing against them. All the 13th are down on the table, except for the Inceptors, which will be leaping in from Deep Strike. We're using the chapter-approved mission deck. We're playing Crucible of Battle, so this nice janky deployment. And we're playing Linchpin. The way Linchpin works is all the objectives on the battlefield are worth 3 points, but if you hold on to your home field objective, which is just here for the Space Marines, then that objective is worth 3 points, but all the other objectives are worth 5, up to a maximum of 15, and then we'll be drawing the secondaries from the secondary mission deck for some extra stuff. And because it is a massive ruinscape, we're playing Ruinscape. Each time a unit makes a normal or advanced move, it can go straight through terrain features. So quite useful for big demons to move straight through walls, because normally they'd have to go around them, and quite useful for my tanks as well, because normally they'd have to go around them. But this Ruinscape is full of holes and broken walls and crumbling scenery. The monsters and tanks can go straight through the stuff, not for the charging, but for the normal and advanced moves. And the gorgeous ruins that you see, it's modular design, modular terrain design, is from muchofwar.co.uk. And of course, this chapter approved mission deck as well as the primary and the secondary missions, There's also the challenge cards that pop out at the start of a battle round. If someone is losing by a lot of points, we'll get to that when we get to them. And then down this fire arc here, you can see Roticus and the Great Unclean One. So over here is where I placed Not Darneth Lysander with 5 Assault Terminators. And all the Nurgle Demons are down on the battlefield except for a unit of Furies and a Greater Chaos Beast of some description. Now the Plague Bearers, they have sticky objectives.
Yeah.
So there's a unit over here trying to make that objective. Not only do they have sticky objectives, they have very sticky objectives because they're Nurgle. So the idea is to make that sticky and then charge up the table and cause me all sorts of issues. But the intercessors who are on my home field objective also have sticky objectives as well. And then you've also put a couple of units of Nurglings right in the middle of the battlefield. What's that about, Poodle?
Well, it's partly thinking if you get Ares Nile, then you're going to have trouble wiping away everything in the middle.
Yes.
And then the front guys are there to kind of, if I get first, then I can pop out and move block you.
Right. And then you've made sure that they're in range of this fella because everything in range of the Greater Unclean One gets +1 toughness.
Yeah, and can't be targeted from outside 18.
Yes. So it makes them even tougher.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're lined up, ready to rock. But who is the initiative? Who's first turn? Okay, after you, sir. Good luck. It's a 4. I rolled a 2. It is Nurgle Demons turn 1.
It is.
What was that?
I did actually would prefer to have gone second, so I'd let you come closer to my lovely hugs.
No. You come closer to my guns.
Yes.
So here's the objectives, the orders for the Nurgle Demons in turn 1. Establish, locus and cleanse. Now, Poodle doesn't want anything to do with cleansing. He's Nurgle Demons. So he spent a CP to replace one and has pulled out no prisoners, which would be a great card in turns 3 or 4 when he's actually close to my army to punch stuff, but without much gun, no prisoners is highly unlikely. So establish locus, get near the centre, do a thing near the centre. So then the Nurgle Demons surge forward into this ruinscape with Roticus and the Great Unclean One leading the charge. We had some advancing with some Plague Bearers over here to get in range of this objective. And there's some Nurglings, there's some Nurglings, move blocking already, putting some right in front of my lines. And down in the centre, we had an establishing of a locus. In the backfield, we've got some Nurglings now looking after this objective after the Plague Bearers made it sticky. And then there were some Warp Bolters that fired out at the scouts over here, killing one of them. And that's the end of Nurgle Demons turn 1. They pick up a couple of points for establishing a locus, but mainly take a lot of board control as we go on to the Space Marines turn 1. So this battle is just warming up, and the Space Marines want to complete some actions as well. They want to recover assets in different zones of the battlefield, and that will complete at the end of my turn. It used to complete at the end of the opponent's turn, but now it's the end of my turn. And extend battle lines. So the 13th move forward, and this unit of assault intercessors back here, and the scouts below the bridge down there are recovering assets and extending battle lines, completing all the orders, getting yelled out by the lieutenant. And then I shouted out the Devastator Doctrine and made Roticus the Oath of Moment target. And I've moved around, so there are some big guns within an 18-inch range of him because of the enhancement on the big gun, means that I can only shoot at him if I'm within 18 inches. Fairly certain I can't kill him one round of shooting, but let's try and wound it. Let's try and take a few wounds off. And then the assault intercessors, well, they jumped out of the repulsor executioner before it moved, because it would be an 8-inch charge to engage these Plague Marines down this central street, maybe kill a few, maybe stop the Nurgle Demons from securing this objective. And there are Nurglings right in front of my lines as well, which the aggressors want to flame and charge, and the intercessors want to shoot down the planners, get rid of some Nurglings, get rid of some Plague Bearers, hopefully hurt Roticus. The big mess in the middle is going to be largely untouched, and we'll have some juicy targets to charge. Whereas round on this flank, I've got the other Gladiator Valiant and the other 2 Fast Strike Servo turrets are going to fire up at the Beast of Nurgle, hopefully killing one of them utterly, otherwise they just recover all their shizzle. And then I've got a good advance roll with the second unit of intercessors here, which are going to fire all their firepower down into these plague bearers. Plague bearers as well. So let's start up by unloading 40 shots from the intercessors into the plague bearers, and because of that demon prince nearby, has the Prince of Darkness rule. Basically, all the Nurglings, everything Nurgle within 6 inches of him has stealth. It's -1 to hit. So I'm going to be hitting on 4s instead of 3s. And then 5s to wound. 5 up invulnerable save. And then I fired the lieutenant in as well, and I killed 4 with 40 shots. Just 4. Just Nurgle things. They are so tough. Now, firing over the intercessor heads are 2 fire strike servo turrets down at the beasts of Nurgle down there. These guys, they hit on 2s. Everything hits. Your strength 9, your toughness 9. So it is 4s to wound, but they are twin linked, these auto cannons. So 5 up and buds.
Come on.
3 damage a time.
Yes, that kills 1.
Just 1. We get rid of 1. So the gladiator will fire in at them as well. Here's the multi-melters. They hit all the time. 4s to wound. Wound twice. 2 5 up and vulnerable saves.
Oh no.
Negative. 2d6 damage. For 4 damage.
I've got
the last talent. Yeah. I've got the last talent. So last talent hits on 3s. And it is strength 10 twin linked. So that wounds. Another 5 up and vulnerable save. Which you fail. And it's 5 wounds to go.
Wait a second.
You're thinking about command
point.
pointing
About it. Time out.
Because if it dies, it's dead.
Yes.
But if it's not dead,
then
it recovers all of its things.
Yes.
Nothing else is going to shoot it. So you're going to do this command point reroll.
I really want these guys. These are so much fun, and they're kind of central to my plan. So come on.
Okay.
Oh.
It did work. Well, there's another chance. It's d6 plus 1 damage, so I need a 4. A 4 and it's dead. It's dead. And new model syndrome kicking in there, like it always does. So you just got a slimy slugger person left, making his way downtown over there. Okay, let's fire lots of intercessors and some flaming goodness at some Nurglings down here. And a few dice rolls later, I would have killed many Nurglings. So 3 Nurglings get evaporated. Now we're coming across here to the shots into the Oath of Moment target. Starting off with this fast strike servo turret. Yes, I parked a gladiator in front of the one behind, so the one behind can't shoot. But with your -8 to 18 inches away can't shoot thing, it's on a model by model basis. So this one couldn't shoot him anyway. So we're starting with fast strike servo turret into Roticus. Do you still have the stealth thing? Are you within 6 of the dude?
6 of him, yep.
Okay, so it's going to be 3s to hit. And then 5s to wound, which are twin linked, and then -1, 3 damage.
4 up. Invuns. Oh dear.
That's 6 damage. That's a good start, isn't it?
He's got to feel no pain.
Has he?
6 is coming right up.
Well, there's one. Next up, Gladiator Valiant firing in. Here's all the multi-melters, which need 4s and re-rolling for Oath, so that's 3 hits. With Oath, it's going to need 4s. That's only 1 more wound. 1 more 4 up and vulnerable save. You make it. And then the last talent, you are the closest eligible monster. So this is going to be 3s with Oath. That's 1 hit. Strength 10.
Needs a 5.
Twin linked. Nothing. The Heavy Laser Destroyer on the Executioner. It's going to hit on 4s because stealthy things. And we're re-rolling for Oath. Bring the creature down. We are strength 16 with +1 to wound. It's going to wound on 2s.
Yep.
We wound both of the times. 2 4 up and vulnerable saves.
This is where I really wanted that CP reroll. Unless I pass them both.
Unless you pass them both. You pass one of them.
Yeah.
That's d6 plus 4 damage. For 10 damage. So 10 feel no pains. Look at that.
A couple.
You made 3 of them.
3.
Yeah. Roticus is on 10 wounds remaining. Let's do the Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon on 4s. Re-rolling all the things. And it would normally be wounding on 6s, but wounding on 5s because of Oath of Moment. But 6s are devastating. And so that really stings.
4 up invulns.
Yes.
Make 1, so then 2 wounds, 6 up counting pounds.
Yes.
2 more wounds.
It's on 8 remaining.
Yes.
Twin heavy bolter in the nose, re-rolling for oath. And then it's going to be 5s, and it's going to be twin linked. That's another 4 up and bun. And you're good. Then I fired in the remaining guns, the anti-infantry guns and the defensive array, and I've got Roticus all the way down to 5 wounds remaining, and that's good. I didn't think I could one-shot him, but I thought I could tickle him, and getting him down to 5, I'll buy that for $1. And I think that's the end of my shooting phase, killing some beasts of Nurgle, killing some plague bearers. We want to charge, though. It's an 8-inch charge with the assault intercessors to get to these plague bearers here. And that's a 9. Right, so we make the glorious charge a glorious charge, but something's kicking in. What's kicking in, Poodle?
He's scarier than he looks.
Right.
And the Stocky Bellpiper means that you have to take a battle shock test.
Yes.
At -1 because you're in my Shadow of Chaos, and an additional -1 because you're also near the Poxbringer just behind him.
Are we?
So -2 to battle shock test.
So leadership 8. And then if I fail these things, I
D3
take right, okay. We pass. We know no fear.
13th.
Okay, we'll hit these demons on 3s, and we'll spend a CP for Honour the Chapter. So that means we wound on 4s with these chainswords, and we reroll all wounds, because that's what also intercessors do when you're in range of objectives. So have it at you, little smelly demon dudes.
5 up invulns.
They have 2 wounds
1, 2,
each.
3.
I take out 3, right, and then there's a power fist. Crump. Hits twice. And then 2s. It's 2s because of Lance.
Because of Lance.
Honour the Chapter. You make the saves. So the Plague Bearers pile in and they can fight back. And I didn't kill enough to stop them scoring this objective at the start of turn 2. The Plague Bearers still control it, but we did spill some Demon Ichor in this roadway. And now the Plague Bearers get to fight back.
Hitting on 3s.
They hit on 3s?
They hit on 3s.
Wow. They're not that stupid. They look stupid, but they're not that stupid.
4, so winning on 4s.
What's the wound? One of them's lethal already. That's a lot of wounds. That's too many wounds. AP 1. 1 damage, I hope.
1 damage.
4 up saves. Kill a Space Marine. Sloppity Piper.
His Marotta, his head on a stick.
Okay.
Also on 3s.
One hit.
Just 1 lethal.
And that's lethal.
Yeah.
AP.
No AP.
Hits me with a head on a stick. And I'm fine.
It's a bouncy, soft head.
Yes. So the Space Marines suffer a casualty as they launch themselves up the street below the towering form of Roticus and that other great unclean one there. And that's the end of Space Marines turn 1. By extending a bit forward to bring some of these guns to bear, there's some potential countercharges from the Nurgle Demons. Then the Space Marines completed both of their secondary objectives as well, making the score at the end of turn 1 7 points to 2 in favour of the Space Marines. But the Nurgle Demons have spread out to claim many objectives. So at the start of turn 2, they're on their home objective, the linchpin objective, and they've still got 2 in no man's land. So they're going to get an extra 13 points on the primary as we go to Nurgle Demons turn 2. So turn 2. Before we go any further, Roticus is injured and Pootle's doing a thing. Tell me about the thing. I love it.
So I've got there's a strat called Fetid Resurgence, which costs 2 CP.
Fetid Resurgence.
Yeah, so I could recover a model to a unit. So
Okay.
I was wanting to do it on the Beasts of Nurgle if you'd killed just one of them.
Yeah.
I brought that one back.
Yeah.
That would have been quite pokey, but they're all gone now. So what I'm thinking of doing is I spend those 2 CP to recover is either a model on a unit or D3 plus 1 wounds on a monster.
Okay. So
So I'll
D3
do
plus
that now.
1 on him.
Oh, it's only 2. but
That's only 2, right? So then he's back to 7 wounds, and then you take a battle shock test because he's low, below than half strength. So
takes the battle
Nurgle
shock-
Demons,
battle shock at +1.
right?
Oh dear.
Which you pass.
No.
Which you fail.
I fail.
You fail.
Yes. If I passed it, I would have recovered another D3 wounds.
Right, because Chaos Demon
Because-
things.
Yes.
Right, so you're trying to cover as many wounds as
Because
possible.
those wounds are really useful. I could have got 7 wounds back in theory, but I got 2. Never mind.
Right, back to the orders. Display of might and area denial. And essentially, because the Nurgle Demons are all over the middle, they get both of these straight away. Demons. Demons are swarming all over the centre of the board for area denial. and displaying their might. And the Great Unclean One, after busting forward, pointed at the intercessors over here, so they're -1 toughness. They've had a spell cast on them.
Nurgle's rot.
And the unit of Plague Bearers that were engaged, they're fallen forward. The second unit are coming up behind, ready to charge into them one more time. And Roticus, on 7 wounds remaining, Nurgle's number. He wants to go charging in as well. So on 7 wounds, on Nurgle's number, it means I'm going to miss all to hits, all to wounds. He's invulnerable now. Yeah. So that happened there. Just continuing the push forward. And then we have some Nurglings and some Nurglings all scrambling all over this ruin. So I'm going to overwatch them with the aggressors with their Flamestorm in a minute. Not because I think I can kill a whole unit, but because Nurglings take a lot of killing. So if I'm going to start pouring it into Nurglings, let's do it in your turn and then finish them off in my turn. That's the thing. You're swarming over your rear objective, holding on to this one. That objective's sticky. This objective is sticky. That objective is sticky. You've made them sticky with all the Plague Bearers. And then there's some more demons pushing this way towards the scouts and the intercessors below that bridge there. And people forgot to move the Furies down here, so we're going to move the Furies down here. And they come leaping out of that ruin there to put further pressure on the Terminators or the Fire Strike Servo turrets. Anyway, let's do a chunk of Overwatch. Auto hitting with Flamer Gauntlets. D6 time, +1. D6 +1 each. And then this wounds on 4s. And it's twin linked.
Ooh.
So lots of 6s coming up. 4 wounds per base. 4 bases, base, dirty stinking base. Base, dirty stinking base. Base. That's Dizzy Rascal. Pop in the tunes, dude. So then we went on to the Nurgle Demon shooting phase, what little of it there was, with 2 infernal bolters from the demons firing out at the scouts over there and killing all but 1. And now we've got some vomit. We've got a Great Unclean One vomiting on these intercessors here. 2d6?
No, this is d6 +3.
D6 +3.
So that's 6 hits.
Wounds on 3s. The vomit's AP -2. Very acidic and just injures one of them. Now Roticus is going to vomit on them as well. He has more vomit. It's 2d6 vomits for 8 vomits. There's 1 more. Strength 7. I'm toughness 3 right now because you're pointing at me, so it's 2s to wounds.
Yes.
If you -2, damage 1. Right, and that kills the... There's 1 guy left. The sergeant standing with a fist. And that's it. And with that lone sergeant standing there, covered in sticky vomit, and his armour steaming away, that's the end of the Nurgle Demons shooting phase. And it's an incredible shooting phase for Nurgle Demons. The fact that they managed to kill anything at all. Now we charge. So, where are we starting, Pete? Well, you deep struck this thing in. What's this thing again?
So it's a spined Chaos Beast.
Spined Chaos Beast.
If it makes a charge, it'll cause impact hits.
Right.
So he's going to go at these things to just try and limit the fire you can put in. But it's
9-inch
9-inch charge. No CPs for any rerolls.
Right.
Oh, hello.
That's a 12.
In.
Boxcars, you're definitely in there, yeah. That means you're going to roll Snake Eyes on all the other charges, right?
Maybe.
So, Crump, that one gets in there. We come back here. We've got some more charges. What's this fella again?
Horticulus Slimux.
Okay, where's he going?
He's going into the last scout. I'd hoped to wipe that unit out, but I think killing that unit off
Yes.
adds value because it means he can't be doing actions uppy downy and appearing in my deployment.
So that's a good point.
So 6-inch charge.
Right. That's a 6.
That's a 6.
Yeah, it's in there. That's good.
Okay, and then this is practically also in, but
That's
we'll
an
see if we can
unfailable charge there.
So he's going to go around here.
Okay.
Like that.
That also puts him in range of
Yes.
that objective
Yep.
as well, so that's really good. Okay, charges. You've got some Plague Bearers that cannot fail.
Yep.
And you've got Roticus going right up the gut. Which one are we doing first?
I'm going to do the Nurglings first. I've got 2 Nurglings going to try and charge
Attack.
in there, yeah.
Okay, roll some dice and then we'll measure it up.
4 or 5.
3
that's a problem.
that's a failed charge. You
And
don't have
that's
the
a
CP.
That's a problem.
Pootle. That's a massive problem.
It is.
Because that Nurgling is now blocking Roticus's charge. He's not a Harlequin with a flip belt, so he can't charge through. And
He's quite agile, but not that agile.
you can't place that. And then that unit fell back.
Yeah.
So they're staying there.
It's too much traffic.
I was looking forward to him charging in against my Terminators.
I certainly was.
But, okay. Right. So that failed charge screwed up this whole thing here. You could send the Furies into Terminators. Probably not a wise decision.
No.
Try and tack those fire strike servo turrets instead. Going for the turrets. Need a 7. That's a 5. That means while the charges on the right flank were highly successful, the only charge that was successful down here were these plague bearers swarming over that last intercessor sergeant. Then start the fight phase, you point at the Terminators.
Yep.
I've got to do a battle shock at -1. And we fail. And so D3, yeah, D3 mortal wounds because of your chaos and nurgly thing, and you put a wound on the Terminators. That's the disease spreading across the battle grid. And then we start the fight phase, did all these plague bearers, punching that last intercessor sergeant. He's completely wiped out. Then we came over here where Horticulus Slimux punches one last scout, and you completely wiped him out as well. I don't have the CPE to interrupt. So now we're on to the big beasts.
Yes.
1 and 2. What's this one?
A giant chaos spawn.
He has impact hits, right?
No, this is the other guy who gets impact hits.
So
right. D6 plus 6 attacks.
Right.
Here.
For 11
nice.
attacks. I like it because the standard spawn get D6 plus 2 attacks. Is a giant chaos spawn.
Yeah.
He gets a lot more of that. He's grown lots and lots of arms.
Yep.
Right, what does he hit on?
Hits on 3s as well.
Okay, he hits better as well. He's not that oh. Strength 10?
Strength 10.
Strength 10?
AP1 damage 2.
Wow. Okay, 2s. And there's 3 ones. AP1 damage 2.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very swingy, isn't he?
It is.
Next time he'll annihilate loads, but this turn he only annihilates 2 of them.
Yep.
So now we're on to the Spined Chaos Beast. Impact hits on a 2.
On a 2 up.
And he goes flying in. That's definitely impact. What does the 6 do?
The 6 is D3 plus 3.
D3 plus 3 mortal wounds. 5? Yes. I think they start off with 6. That was one hell of an impact hit. That turret's nearly dead. 6 attacks hitting on 3s. There's a couple more 1s. You're rolling 1s. Lots of 1s today.
Yes.
You're using the same dice pot. And
These are strength 12.
Are they? That's 2s to wound. Yeah, okay. Right, 4 wounds.
AP2 damage 3.
Okay, AB2. They're tech marines, so no number 2 up saves. So 4 up saves. Yep. So that kills the injured one and puts 1 down to 3 wounds remaining.
That's not too bad.
And then the tech marine gets down off of his thing, comes round and punches him and lands a blow. He needs a 6. Have it at you. He slapped you with his gauntlet.
Yeah, and I caught it with my tongue. Look.
Yeah, it didn't do anything. Giant tongue is now eating the gauntlet. Then we'll pile in with the intercessors. And the sergeant and the lieutenant can't make it into combat. So all the juicy weapons aren't going to fight. These are just normal intercessors punching away. And a giant chaos spawn. Toughness 9.
Toughness 9.
So 6s. I do a wound. We land a blow.
4 up save.
Yay.
5 up feel no pain.
Yay.
He does take a wound.
How many wounds do they have?
10.
10. Brilliant. So 9 wounds left. He does generate wounds back in the command phase, so he's going to take a bit of killing to get through. And I think that's the end of Nurgle Demons turn 2. They maximise their secondary objectives by swarming all over the battle grid. And they've got rid of the scouts, they've got rid of a fast strike servo turret, they've got rid of some of the intercessors. However, it's a tale of 2 halves, Harry, because round this side there was a lot of failed charges.
Yes.
A bit of a roadblock in this street here. And Roticus had the chance to recover many, many wounds and recovered 2.
I think he'd have still been in trouble even if he'd got another few, but he's really in trouble now.
Yeah. He stood there right in front of all of these guns.
Yep.
As we go on Space Marines turn 2. So in turn 2, the 13th have had enough. They want to assassinate Roticus and kill as many demons as possible for no prisoners. In the command phase, Not Darnath Lysander shouts out the tactical doctrine and points at Roticus one more time, who is my oath of moment target. I need to assassinate that character, and he holds firm. For now, you go charging in a minute. Need to kill a character, kill as much as possible. But with the tactical doctrine, at least I'm eligible to fall back, shoot, and charge. And you'll notice that I put the Repulsor Executioner forward. The reason for this is because we're playing special rule Ruinscape, and there's a massive greater demon there that can just walk through the wall. But by putting the thing there, the demon can't come all the way through the wall, more than 2 inches back. This is tournament level stuff here, people. There's not enough space for the demon to be stood, otherwise the ruin would come collapsing down on his head. He needs to make his his way through. So we're keeping the greater demon back for a turn because the model can't be placed there, which still means we've got plague bearers, we've got demon princes in the middle, a winged one, a non-winged one. We've got there's lots of stuff happening here. So I need to pull back one of those demon princes. I need to pressurize the linchpin objective in the backfield. So over here, I dropped in my Inceptors, and they're going to nail these Nurglings, hopefully kill them all, and then in later game turns, jump forward and take the linchpin objective. Remember, every objective on the table is worth 3 VP, but if you still control your linchpin objective, then the other objectives are worth 5, so you can't give up the linchpin objective. And with the jumpy dudes back here, it means something's going to have to come back for them, either the Furies or the Demon Prince or something. And by something coming back for them, that means there's something less not charging down towards the Space Marine lines. And round on this side, this tactical squad fell back out of combat. The Chaos Spawn recovered a wound, and they're going to go shooting and charging into this thing. The Fast Strike Servo turret fell out of combat. The idea is the Valiant and these guys come shooting into this thing because I can fall back, shoot and charge with the tactical doctrine. There's the aggressors if they need to make a charge, and there's the last unit of intercessors, which can either fire this way if it ain't dead, or fire back the other way into some plague bearers if I need to kill some more plague bearers. Basically, the demons control 4 out of 5 of the objectives. They're spread forward to take over this battle grid, so the Space Marines need to get killing and need to get to pushing the demons back. So let's try and kill this spined Chaos Beast, starting with a Fast Strike Servo turret, which hits on 2s. It's toughness 11, so I'm going to need 5s, but it is twin linked. And it makes the save. Okay, put the Gladiator Valiant into it. The Gladiator Valiant will fire into it. I hit on 2s with the Las Talon because it's the closest monster, and of course I roll a 1. Strength 10, toughness 11. Twin linked. Nothing. Okay, 4 multi-melters. This is proving problematic. I hit 3 times. Can I wound? I can wound once. 1 5-up invulnerable save. It fails the 5-up invulnerable save. There's d6 plus 2 damage at this range for 6 damage. You know, I wasn't confident that this firepower could do it. It's still on 6 left, which is why I moved the intercessors round so they could pour all their fire in. And this is 3s to hit, but 6s are lethal because there's a lieutenant shouting at them. Quite a few 6s already. And then any more 6s to wound? One more 6 to wound. 1 minus 1. 1 damage a time. Oh, drop. Damn it, it's not dead yet. It's on 2 wounds left. So the aggressors will set it on fire. The 4 that can see it, that are in range, will set it on fire. It's a nice number of auto hits. We need 6s. And we can re-roll. It's a lot of 6s. 4-up saves.
No.
Yes. Burn, demon.
Interestingly,
Burn.
it doesn't have deadly demise.
Doesn't it?
No, weird.
Oh, just turns to a puddle of goo.
Yeah.
Right, demon number 1 has fallen and it took a lot of guns. So let's shoot demon number 2. Let's shoot this snail fella on the slug over here. And we're hitting on 3s. 6s are lethal. There's a lot of 6s.
That's a lot of 6s.
There's a lot of 6s, but it is toughness Nurgle, so the rest will wound on 6s. There's a couple more 6s. Look at that. That'll soften you up for the charge.
So 4-up invuln.
Yes. That's pretty good. 4 left.
Yep.
Mastercrafted bolter from the sergeant. That's lethal.
Yep.
And that fails to wound, so that's another 4-up invuln. And you make it. Otherwise that would have been 2 more damage. So 4 more wounds to get through when we go charging in.
Yep.
Right, okay. Right. And then we pull all the way back here where we have the Inceptors firing everything down at these Nurglings. And we're hitting on 3s. 6s are sustained hits 2. And then strength 5 versus toughness 3. But we are Twinky Dinky. So we can re-roll a wound. So bajillion 6-up saves to make each, doing 2 damage. They're 4 wounds each, right?
Yes, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 base left.
So smush, 1 base left alive.
Yep.
And then with your battle shocky
If
things...
I'm capable of passing a battle shock test,
Yes.
I could recover D3 bases.
That's right, yeah. In your command phase, you'll take a battle shock test.
Yep.
You pass, you can put D3 in. That's, yeah, because they are battle line, right?
They are.
Okay. But, yeah, well, we're giving you some problems. Giving you some 99 problems to think about. Right, we'll come around here. We declared Roticus as the Oath of Moment target, so we're going to put things into the Oath of Moment target. Repulsor Executioner will put its big gun in.
Yes.
All the other guns from the Repulsor Executioner is going to kill these 2 Nurgler bases here because we have no prisoners. And he's -1 to hit because he's in range of that thing.
Yep.
So we're hitting him on 4s with the Laser Destroyer and their Snake Eyes, but you are Oath of Moment. So I can re-roll.
Ooh.
From double 1s to double 6s. +1 to wound.
Yes.
So 2s to wound, they both wound.
I could do with some 4-up invans, couldn't I?
You could. You make one, fail one. D6 +4 damage. You could command point it, but there's going to be quite a few more shots coming into him. You're spending CP?
I'm spending a CP. I shouldn't, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
Again, it's a lovely model. It
Okay.
deserves a second chance. Yes!
Right, then the remaining shots on the Repulsor Executioner actually murder those last 2 remaining Nurglings. They're overkilling them. They are Nurglings after all. Right, now we're coming to Fast Strike Servo Turrets, shooting at Roticus. Hitting on 3s. Re-rolling for Oath of Moment. And then it would be 5s to wound, but 4s to wound because of Oath of Moment. And then we're Twinky Dinky. It's 4 wounds. 4 invulnerable saves.
Oh,
And
that's
that
a
is
problem.
9 damage.
I do have Feel No Pain, but I've only got 7 wounds. So 3 6s.
3 6s.
Winter's dice.
Winter's dice.
Dice.
Crunchier than a dead penguin.
Oh.
Roticus is dead.
Does he explode? Come on, please explode.
It's pretty
cocked.
cocked. No.
Oh.
And that is Assassinate, and that gets... And that's Assassinate, and that's one of the big uns down, leaving one more big one to go, and a couple of Demon Princes in the middle of the battlefield, and that also means I've got a tank back there, which, the Gladiator... What is that firing at now? 1 minute. The Great Unclean One's in the ruin, so you can see into the ruins. So we'll shoot it. Here is the big laser talon on top. They both hit. It's going to need 5s, and it's twin linked. Doesn't do anything. Okay, 4 multi-melters. This is why you really need Oath of Moment. 5s to wound.
Oh.
Actually,
You don't.
you don't need Oath of Moment. You can wound all the times anyway.
I just need 4-up invans.
Yes. You make only 1. Does this one have a Feel No Pain as well?
Yes, 6-up.
He's going to need to feel some pain to 7 wounds. 6s coming up.
No.
No. And that is the end of my shooting phase. We are killing demons. We got rid of a couple of big uns now. We got rid of some beasts of Nurgle now. And there's still some threats in the middle of the battlefield. And the Chaos Demons are still controlling no man's land. And we need to charge. And I've got Terminators here, and the last place in the world they want to be is in close combat with some Plague Bearers. But if I put them in with some Plague Bearers, it means the Plague Bearers they stay there. They're locked there, right? We can lock them in place, and they are 2 damage hammers, and Plague Bearers do have 2 wounds each. So I guess Darnath Lysander and the Terminators are charging those Plague Bearers. Ooh, I could charge the Great Unclean One through that wall. Now the Nurgle demons have gone, and go charging into the Great Unclean One. Sounds like craziness, but let's do it. Let's see if we make the charge. Do we make the charge? We do make the charge rather easily. I'll put the Terminators up there so you guys can see them, and then there's another charge that's happening. These intercessors that fell black last turn are going into that Chaos Slug, and they're going 11. So thump we get in here. What's the name of the snail guy again?
Horticulus Slimux.
What's it? But who?
Horticulus Slimux. He's the gardener of Nurgle.
Can I just call him Bob?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we're fighting Bob with many attacks. We hit on 3s. 6s are lethal, and then more 6s. Right, there you go, Bob. You got 6 wounds to take. 4 runs.
No AP with 4-up. Yeah.
Yeah. Bob's dead before the lieutenant gets to shank him with a sword.
Damn it. I was hoping it might at least absorb a bit more attention.
Bye, Bob. 1 minute. He's got a threat save.
Okay. 2 wounds. You do need.
So I've got to shank him with the sword.
You've got to shank him.
Right.
I'm sure you can.
Okay, lieutenant hits on 2s.
Ooh.
And then toughness is strength 5. Okay, still needs it's 2 damage. It's mastercrafted and it is an AP. So 4 up or death on Bob.
Yes.
Bob's alive.
Bob survives.
Shall we do we'll get to the demon thing. Yeah. Let's do the fight back with Bob. I want to see what we can do.
Come back. Oh.
Right, 4 attacks with some gardening shears.
Yeah, lethal hits.
Hits on. There's a lethal.
So wound.
3 wound.
1 wound.
2 wounds, right? Yeah.
AP 4.
What?
No, AP 2 damage 3.
Okay. AP 2 damage 3. So 5s. Kill a Space Marine.
And then he gets the slug will dribble on you.
Right.
Slug
I don't like it
twice
when
on a
dribble
4.
on me. Okay.
So 1 hit.
Right.
This is strength 7.
Yes.
Devastating wounds.
That's a wound.
That's a wound. This is AP 4.
Is it?
Yes. Damage 3. So just kills another one.
The slug.
It eats one.
The slug he's a nasty slug.
Eats him whole.
So while 1 Space Marine is digested in the bowels of that demon, that's fine. That's okay. I didn't kill Bob, but the main thing was to try and take that objective off of you, which we've managed to do.
Yep.
And then we had the other charge over here. So when Hammonators charge in, you have to take a battle shock test.
Which is normally a bad thing.
Yes.
But I want to take a battle shock test because if I pass it, I regain D3 wounds.
Yeah, because the Chaos Demon thinks.
It is +1, and that is enough.
All right, so he
D3,
recovers D3 wounds. So I went charging in there. It's the opposite of impact hits. I just gave you a wound back.
Yes.
And then I need to take a battle shock test.
You need to take a battle shock test because you're within my shadow of chaos.
Right.
At -1.
Six with Darnif, I think. I think we're good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, so punching the Great Big Demon.
Yeah.
We're going to hit in 4s with Thunder Hammers, spent a CP on Honor, the chapter. Which, yes, you need to hit first for it to kick in. Because Honor the chapter gives me Lance. So I'm winning you on 4s instead of 5s. But 6s are devastating.
Okay.
So that's 4 damage. And they're invulnerable saves.
Oh, for goodness sake.
So that's 8 damage.
Yes.
Bit of feel no pains.
Feel no pains.
This isn't Nurgle's number though. That means you're going to fail all of them. This is Khorne's number. Except for the 3 you pass.
Yes.
All right, Pootle.
Yes.
How many wounds has he got left?
He's got 9 wounds.
He's got 9 wounds left.
Yes.
Because not Darnith Lysander has a 3 damage hammer.
And rolled 1 more wound.
And he hits on 2s.
Yeah. That's a good start.
That's a good start. Strength 10. So force the wound. 6s are devastating.
Ooh, that's a problem.
That's 3 damage. And these are 4-up saves.
Yes. Oh, for goodness sake.
You failed every single one.
12 sixes.
12 6s is, it's a tall order.
Yeah, oh, no.
He's gone.
He's gone.
This is a bonus. Killing Roticus and the
doesn't
Great
even explode.
Unclean One in the same turn. It's unheard of.
Yes.
Someone call the manager. They're meant to be hard to kill, the Great Unclean Ones.
Yeah.
When you showed me that you had 2 Great Unclean Ones, I was like, I might be able to kill 1 by the end of the battle, but there's no way I'm killing 2. Turns out I've killed 2 in 2 turns.
Yep.
How did that happen? Right.
All my invents.
Yeah. So you failing all your invents definitely helped. So your threat now is a couple of big demons in the middle and those 2 fellas over there. And then you've got some fast stuff and some slow stuff to score some objectives.
Yep.
However, I've just completed my secondaries. I have assassinated a thing.
2 things. Mind you, only once.
And I have got no prisoners as well. So let's do some points. So, because Pootle smashed many points on the primaries, at the end of Battle Round 2, 24 points to the demons, 20 points to the Space Marines. There's only 4 points in it. The demons are going to pick up 13 more points on the primaries, however, at the start of turn 3. So let's go on to turn 3. And here are the orders for the demons. Extend battle lines. They're already doing that. They're extending all over the place and sabotage an item of terrain not within their deployment zone. So here we are after the demons movement phase, and some warp shenanigans killed one of my Terminators after I failed a battle shock test with D3 mortal wounds on that injured Terminator. And this Demon Prince, not Fluffy, is going to go charging into not Darnath Lysander and 4 remaining Terminators, backed up by some Plague Bearers over here. And there's another unit of Plague Bearers, and it looks like those Terminators are surrounded, or maybe some of them want to go into the tank, because if you engage tanks, then there's minuses for them shooting out of combat. I can pop stratagems like squad tactics, which would allow me to put a tank in a tactical doctrine to fall back, shoot and charge if they do get tagged up. But I can do that once. So this tank could get swallowed. Then over there, there's another unit of Furies that deep struck in. And that tank over there could get swallowed as well. And talking about swallowing things, unit Furies in the middle, unit Plague Bearers in the middle. You've got Slimy Boil and the Slug. He recovered a wound.
I passed a battle shock test,
Yeah.
and then rolled a 1.
And then you rolled a 1. So you didn't get D3 wounds, but you got 1 back. But that's because he ate that intercessor.
Yeah, energy. It's like a snack bar.
A little snack. So the Greater Chaos Spawn is going to go in, and they're in trouble as well.
And maybe there's a 7-inch charge there.
Maybe with the Plague Bearers. So it looks like you're trying to overwhelm on the right and on the left. Back here, this Demon Prince is below. We'll put him up there so you guys can see them. And he's below that wall, ready to jump out next turn and do something about these guys. Because if I launch myself forward, I can potentially steal that linchpin objective off of you.
I don't want.
And then I'm right in front of that Demon Prince. He'll jump out and go booga booga booga.
Come on.
And kill them. Meanwhile, you are extending your battle lines. You have holding on to your home field objective and 1 in no man's land. And this unit of Furies down here are sabotaging those crates. They're sneezing them. They're stuffing them full of Nurglings. So if anyone turns up after the battle and ships those crates off to a far distant war zone, then they're going to be full of Nurgle's plague. Lastly, there's a unit of Furies right in the middle of the battle grid, ready to cut right or left. So the demons have lost a chunk of their army. The 13th still have quite a few bits left. But the demons are winning on the points. And then we did some shots. There were a couple of bolters from the Demon Princes which shot at Terminators. Didn't do anything.
Nothing.
We've done all the shooting. It's not about shooting, it's about charging. So now you want to charge.
Yep.
So we're going to charge with the Plague Bearers first?
No, because they could stop, if they roll high, they could stop the Greater Spawn.
You're
engaging.
right, yes.
So I need him to go first. It doesn't really matter, does it?
No. So the Great Storm, that's 3. He's in.
That's enough.
Okay.
And then I need a 7, and I could get like 3 in there.
Right.
Potentially.
Take that objective off of me, and
That's
that
a 7.
is a 7. So after those charges, below the archways in this street, these intercessors are completely surrounded. And in the middle of the battlefield, you couldn't fail charges. So the Demon Prince goes in there, and both units of Plague Bearers go in there, surrounding the Terminators, and a couple of Plague Bearers are tagging the Repulsor Executioner as well. Then over here, a 9-inch charge from the Furies into the Gladiator, and that is a failed charge. You've got 1 CP. It's not worth it. Okay, so now we fight. So we're going to start in the middle. And once per battle at the start of any phase, not Darnath Lysander can give himself a 2-up and vulnerable save. He's doing it now. There's like 30 Plague Bearers and a Demon Prince nearby. And the Demon Prince is slapping him on 2s. Strike mode. And there's 3 1s. Brilliant. And it's -1 to wound me. So you're going to wound on 4s instead of 3s.
2 wins at least.
2 4-up and vulnerable saves.
Ooh.
That will kill one dead.
Yep.
It would kill 2 Terminators, but we have shields.
Yep.
Got to take a battle shock test at the start of the fight phase as well. -2. So 8 -2. That's a pass. Yep. We're good. Now I don't have the CP to interrupt. So the Poxbringer in his unit are now fighting, spending a CP on Fevered Visions. What's Fevered Visions, people?
It gives them +1 to hit in melee.
Nice.
Technically shooting as well, but that's irrelevant. But more importantly, the targets hit by an attack have to take a battle shock test, and you'll be doing that at -2. And maybe one day you'll fail the battle shock test.
Yeah. So another battle shock test if I fail, D3 wounds.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2s to hit then instead of 3.
2s to hit.
Yeah.
Crits on 5s.
Crits on 5s because of the character. And then 5s to wound.
Yeah.
I need 3-up saves. I take 2 wounds. And then a battle shock test.
-2.
Yes! I fail. And that's another D3. 4. Okay. That's good. 3 more wounds. And the Boxbringer, it's on 2s, and there's a crit.
That's lethal.
And he's strength 5.
This is strength 5.
So he wounds on 4s.
2 more, so 3, AP 2.
Okay.
Damage 2.
4 up and okay. 1 goes down to 1 wound.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's not Darneth Lysander, 2 Terminators, 1's on a wound. Then we have the other unit. Then we rolled loads of dice. There's a Terminator left on full wounds and not Darneth Lysander. And that combat's ongoing. We'll get back to it in a minute. Oh yeah, and a couple more hit the tank with lethal hits, but it's a tank. It's fine. So now we come back here to the Giant Spawn of Doom.
Yeah, Giant Spawn gets D6 plus 6 attacks.
Okay.
That's
11 again. He had 11 last turn.
Yeah, but he's left
11
his
this turn.
He left the tentacles he grew. He left them out.
Yeah.
Hitting on 3s.
Yes. 2s to wound. At AP1 damage 2. Only there's a dude.
10.
Next, all the Plague Bearers have a go, hitting on 3s, and 6s are lethal, and there's 4 6s. And then these are, yes. 5 wounds in total, -1 damage. Ooh. That kills 2.5 Marines.
It does.
And the Scrivener gives sustained, so 4 more wounds on, yes, there's another wound. And I'm okay. Then the Scrivener. There's a lethal and a hit.
And then it's sustained. So that's
yes,
lethal.
that's true. Yeah.
So this is 3s to wound.
Okay.
The strength 5.
Everything wounds.
This is AP 1 damage 1.
Kills another. So there's 1.5 left with a lieutenant.
Yep.
We get to fight back.
Yeah.
Into Slimux.
Everything into the slug. You're climbing into the slug.
I don't want to be eaten by him anymore. It was quite frankly, it was a bit disgusting. So we'll hit him with there's a lethal. Okay, good. We'll do that. And then these are 6s. 1 wound so far. 1 wound.
That was a pass, we said.
He's got a 3-up save normally. Right. Mastercrafted sword on the lieutenant on 2s. And this is going to need...
6s.
It's going to need not that. That's not good. Okay, we didn't do anything. You get to fight me back with your slug man.
So lopping shears.
Lopping shears. Gardening shears. Don't kill a Space Marine with some gardening shears. It's quite frankly...
Those miss.
It's embarrassing.
That's lethal.
Right, okay. And then...
That doesn't wound.
Right, we're AP on gardening
AP
shears.
2, damage 3.
You chop someone's leg off. That injured guy's gone.
Yep.
And then the slug opens
slug
its
himself.
mouth and
Once.
nomps on one of them.
And AP 4 kills one and kills the other one.
So the slug has had lunch twice. And there's a lieutenant left.
Yep.
Okay, let's do the big fight in the middle. Put everything into the Demon Prince. It is a Demon Prince. Here's a big hammer, and that's a hit. And then we need to wound on a... There's a devastating wound. There's 2 wounds on a Demon Prince.
Okay.
And then not Darneth Lysander. He hits on 2s. And he's strength 10. But Demon Prince on foot in Nurgle was like toughness 11 or
It's
something?
exactly toughness 11. It's 5s.
Okay, so it's 5s to wound. 6s are devastating.
Yep, don't do it.
Ooh. There's 2 more wounds.
4 advance.
That's 3 damage. So he
5
took
in total.
5 in total. 5 remaining?
Correct.
So the Demon Prince is half dead, and that is the end of Nurgle Demons turn 2, and they still have this objective, this objective, this objective, and you scored 13 on the primary, and 13 on the primary. And I've only been picking up 3 points for holding on to my linchpin objective down here, and the Nurgle Demons rack up loads of points for getting the secondaries again. As we go to Space Marines turn 3. So the Space Marines want to storm a hostile objective and take down one of those monsters for Bring It Down. So here we are after the Space Marines movement phase. Didn't shout any doctrines, but I made that massive Chaos Spawn there, the Oath of Moment target, and I want to bring it down. And the Gladiator, the Fast Strike servo turret, will fire in because, of course, the Lieutenant took a couple of steps back. And then if they don't kill it, the aggressors can come charging in and hopefully punch it to death, and that'll be the Oath of Moment achieved. After some of the Flamers go in to some of the Plague Bearers here, because I think at least the first rank, or maybe the second rank as well, are in range to burn them up. See, because the Nurgle Demons took so many objectives, They're still on the 3 down the middle. Well, they're not on that one, actually. They gave up that one there. But they're still all over the middle. They're sticky. Yes, they are on that one, because they are very sticky. They're all pooed on. They're all over the place. We barely came out of our deployment zone, so we need to push. So we're pushing here. The unit of intercessors are running along the balcony. That looks super cool. And then the unit of assault intercessors jumping up there. I know that objective is sticky, that the intercessors made it sticky, but I don't want anything coming back here and stealing it off of me. And then the tank staying in combat. The gladiator advanced because it didn't have any juicy targets, and I'd like to get on this objective at some point. And the reason why the tank didn't break out of combat is because I can shoot through those windows there and into the Demon Prince. But before we shoot that Demon Prince, let's use the Fire Strike servo turrets to shoot that Demon Prince in the bum. And the reason why we're doing this is because if we can kill it, the jumpy dudes have taken your linchpin objective. I advanced to get there, but that stops you. That's no longer sticky anymore. Which means the other objectives out here, instead of worth 5 points, are now only worth 3. Anyway, shoot you in the back. Shoot a demon in the back.
Are you sure you want to do this?
With Fire Strike servo turrets. Hit that many times. Strength 9, toughness 10. Toughness 10. Twin linky. We do 3 wounds. AP -1, but you're in a ruin. So 2 up saves. And you're good. Now we're doing the Repulsor Executioner. It's going to fight everything in that demon on 5 wounds remaining.
And I am triggering the once per battle invuln.
Once per battle, 3 up invulnerable save.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to get into the fight phase.
To fight Darnif.
Yeah.
Right, here's the Laser Destroyer. 4s to hit. It hits once. It doesn't wound. I'm going to command point it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I think that counts.
Yep, that's fine.
That's a 3 up invulnerable save, or it's D6 plus 4 damage,
Yes,
and
which
he's
could
dead.
be a problem. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to command point that.
Yes. You need to.
I absolutely need to. Oh no!
And that is 6 damage. It's enough to kill your Demon Prince. Yeah, he was on 5 left. Beautiful stuff. Okay. So I couldn't kill one Demon Prince, but I could kill the other.
He could explode.
He's not exploding, is he? He's not. There's no exploding. So not Darnith Lysander looks over his shoulder, sees that Demon Prince gone. He'll think that he got him. He got him on the backswing with the hammer. Yeah. It was definitely me, he says. Right, over this side, let's shoot the Oath of Moment target with this one. They all hit. It needs 5s to wound. No, 4s to wound. Twin linked. 2 wounds on your giant Chaos Spawn Doom.
Is it AP?
-1.
So
+1 because of cover.
Yeah, so 4 ups.
Okay.
1.
And the 3 damage, does it have a feel no pain?
It
does have a feel no pain, this one, doesn't it? So it takes 2 wounds. Right, let's do the Tonk. The Tonk firing at it. 2s with a gun on the top. And re-rolling for Oath of Moment. And then toughness of it?
It's 9.
Strength 10, they both wound. Invulnerable saves,
Yep.
that was the lead, that was the...
5 ups. Oh, hello.
That's boxcars, you know?
Yes.
Okay, right. Multi-melters. Oath of Moment. Strength 9, toughness.
9.
+1 to wound for Oath of Moment. 2 wounds. 2 invulnerable saves.
Oh!
You just made 4 6s in a row.
Boxcars. I mean, I had some poor luck earlier.
Yeah, that was juicy. I like it.
MVP.
Still alive. Okay. So I'm going to measure up and get as many flamer shots as I can from the aggressors into the plague bearers and then charge that chaos spawn. So I fired the flamers in, killed 4.5 of the plague bearers. Now the aggressors want to make this charge. It's a 7-inch charge. And that's an 11. So we make it here. The ones on top are below, but they do look cool up there. And we're punching the Oath of Moment target. So we hit on 3s with all the rerolls. And then we wound on 5s, but they're twin linked. Yeah, 4s, sorry, because of Oath. And then reroll, which is good because I only did 3 wounds so far, and that's bad. 5 up invulnerable saves.
Ooh, and then 10 wounds.
Yes. 10 wounds, 10 wounds. It's got 8
Yes.
left.
Come on.
Because it made so many 6s. And
it's alive on a
it's
wound.
alive on 1 wound remaining. So 1 minute. I haven't stormed a hostile objective. And I haven't brought it down.
No.
And now the Chaos Spawn gets to fight back.
My MVP.
But before we close out this fight with the aggressors, you're doing all the piling in and things with the Plague Bearers and the Terminators here.
Yes.
And then you make me take a power shock test at the start of the thing, which we pass because we know no fear. Otherwise it'd be mortal wounds.
Yes.
And then the Plague Bearers fight and they hit on 3s.
Hit on 3s, 5s are lethal.
Yes. 5s are lethal because of the Pox Springer. 5s to wound there. These are all -1.
Yeah.
And Terminator plate holds firm. Now I can fight.
The Pox Springer himself can
Pox
fight.
Springer. Okay, right.
3s,
Yes.
5s.
There's lethal.
And another 5. And
2
2
wounds.
wounds. AP 1 still.
Okay.
Damage 2.
I fail 1.
Damage 2. So
1's down to 2 wounds remaining.
Battle shock.
And then we fight you back with the normal hammer dude. Drop dice don't count.
Do you want to fight the other unit?
And then what other unit? The one that hasn't fought.
Yeah.
Then that's devastating. That will kill 1.
Yep.
And then Darneth hits all the times. He's strength 10. That's devastating. And there saves. So we kill 5 in the other unit. It's not bad with just 2 Terminators. In fact, that's incredibly good for Terminators against Plague Bearers. And so you took from the ones who were engaging the tank.
Yeah.
This is the remaining unit, that other unit. There's only 3 in it, fighting through the wall, trying to take off those last 2 wounds.
So this is the 2 Plague Bearers.
Yes, can you take off the last? There's a lethal. There's a lethal.
These
You might be able
5s.
to. 2 wounds.
AP 1 this. So
He's
no.
okay.
And then this is AP dash, so this is really unlikely.
Okay.
That's at least. And then those 2 wounds. Snake Eyes for me.
Snake Eyes and Dead Terminator? No,
The
Fox
opposite.
Scars. Okay, so this fight continues.
Yes.
With the Plague Bearers and the things right in the middle of the battle grid.
Yep.
So we come back over here. The Lieutenant's no longer engaged, but your Chaos Spawn is all over those aggressors, and he always has 11 attacks, and this time he only has 9.
I mean, 9's pretty good.
9 is pretty good. He hits on 3s, and we found out he's strength 10.
Ooh.
But it's going to wound on 3s because I'm toughness 6. I'm in Kravis. And he wounds 3 times.
AP 1 damage 2.
And he injures one of the aggressors. And that fight is ongoing.
Yeah.
But more importantly, that was my Oath of Moment target. That was my Bring It Down target.
Yeah.
That was my Storm objective target. I get no points for the secondaries at the end of turn 2.
Can I just pass a shout out to Stylus for
Yes.
having a Nurgle demon on 1 wound? Will reopen ancient scars for him.
Stylus, Nurgle Demons, 1 wound. Giving them PTSD there. So you've got a big swarm going on here. We've got these things out. In the middle, those Plague Bearers, they're slowly getting overwhelmed, and there's some intercessors running along the thing up here. I might not have got any secondaries. And you might have picked up a couple of points of sabotage in my turn. But at least I've taken the linchpin objective off of you. So instead of you getting 13 points at the start of turn 4, you're only going to get 3, 6, 9 points at the start of turn 4.
We'll take that.
However, going away and adding up all the points and things, at the end of turn 3, it's 44 points to the demons and only 23 to the Space Marines. And the secondary objectives for the demons: overwhelming force, kill something in range of an objective, like a lieutenant stood on his own, and get behind enemy lines. There's a unit of Furies already back there. So, in the backfield, there's no Nurglings. I nailed the Nurglings with the bolters from the jumpy dudes, and now they're going to get charged by a Demon Prince. So you can take your linchpin objective back again. And the unit of Furies that were in the middle, they're jumping over as well to give them a hand. That's lots and lots of trouble. And then over here, Poodle saw me making a break for this objective. So these Furies have zipped round to zone out that objective and potentially charge either the fast strike servo turrets or the tanks. And then there's another unit of Furies over here, and they're getting behind enemy lines. So that's extra points. Meanwhile, there was some warp shenanigans going on And a couple of plague bearers appeared here, a couple of plague bearers appeared there, more wounds coming on here, there and everywhere as the Chaos Demons took battle shock tests. He's back up to 6 wounds, the slug fella, and your Chaos Spawn is back up to 2 wounds. And I kept in my hand Overwhelming Force and Bring It Down. And so you didn't want me punching that in your turn, killing the Oath of Moment target in your turn in melee, and then getting 4 points. So you've fallen back out of close combat. So I'm going to Overwatch him, try and burn him to death, and get 4 points in your turn. You know, like you got points in my turn for Sabotage, I'm going to try and get points in your turn for Bring It Down. Burn that fella.
Good move.
I don't like the fact that all these demons keep getting wounds back again. That, they're proving quite hard to kill. It's like Nurgle demons are really difficult to kill or something. Who knew? 27, 33 shots. And he's still the Oath of Moment target. So 5s, twin linked. So we're re-rolling. Right, he's got 2 wounds. Please don't roll 26s.
4 up saves first.
Right, okay. And then lots of feel no pains.
Probably not good enough.
1 minute. That was amazingly good.
Let's just roll it.
He's dead by one wound. 1 wound. I brought it down, I killed a thing. But you made me spend the CP and do it in, okay. Cool, so what are we doing then? Is there any...
He's going to sneeze at your lieutenant.
Sneeze at the lieutenant?
Yeah.
Okay, sneeze away. D6 auto hits. For 1 auto hit. Strength 3? There's a wound? AP and things? AP. There's no AP. I take a wound. How embarrassing is that? There was another gun in the shooting phase. Demon Prince shot the jumpy dudes. And I made the saves. And that's the end of the shooting phase again. So we've got some charges. Furies charging tank?
Yep, Furies
charging tank. Furies are into tank. Still behind enemy lines though. Achieving the secondary objectives. Then these Furies are multi-charging. And they go 8. Tying up the other Gladiator and the Fire Strike servo turrets. Blocking off the push down this street to that objective. Then you've got these Furies jumping through and up and over, and the Demon Prince into the jumpy dudes. And that's lots of successful charges. So we're starting down here with Horticulus Slimy.
Slimeworks
Bob. Bob is fighting the Lieutenant one more time. He hits 3 times.
He is strength 6, so 3's to wound.
He wounds once. Bob only wounds once. And I failed to save.
It's 3 damage.
Is it?
Yeah.
Bob gets fed to the slug.
No,
the other way around. The lieutenant gets... Yes. Next, we did Furies fighting tanks, no wounds caused, and Furies fighting tanks, 1 wound caused on the Gladiator Valiant. Then we're coming back to the Demon's backfield where the Demon Prince is hitting the jumpy with dudes.
Strike. 1 2s.
And he hits every single time.
3's to wound.
And wounds every single time. -2, 3 damage.
Yes.
So 5s.
Yes.
And he wipes out half the squad.
Yes.
And then the Furies scrabble at the Inceptors and puts 1 down to 1 wound. And that's it for the charging models. Hurting half of these, killing Lieutenant. We've got the fight in the middle though. We've got Terminators versus the Plague Bearers. And defenders get to fight first. So let's fight the weakened unit of Plague Bearers. Hitting them on 4s with the hammer. And doing a wound. And killing one. Yeah. And then 5 attacks with Darnath. Not Darnath. He hits on 2s. He wounds on 2s. And that is 5 wounds. And I think that's the squad.
Yep.
So yeah, Darnath and that last remaining Terminator do manage to batter away that 1 unit of Plague Bearers. Then the second one fights. And this number of wounds come through, which I need 3-up saves against. And that Terminator falls, leaving Darnath on his own, surrounded by Plague Bearers. And then you've got the Poxbringer.
Those are lethal.
Yes.
That's the save. AP 1. Oh, that's 6 damage.
What? Darnath?
He must have more than 6 wounds. He must have 7.
You
command point?
Take him.
Command point.
I've got command point over there. I've got command point over there. If anyone deserves a command point, it's this fella.
Yes.
And he's alive with 2 wounds remaining. So not done as Lysander's, hanging in there with 2 wounds remaining. Then we did the remaining fights. And these Furies, they're fine. Didn't take any wounds. But these Furies that charged the Fire Strike servo turrets and this Gladiator, well, they were supposed to be blocking the path. Should have got on camera, really. Those Tech Marines did some work. Furies only have 1 wound each. And they're down to 1 remaining. And then the jumpy dudes back here, they put one of those Furies in the dust as well, and that is the end of Demons. Turn 4. They pick up 6 points for overwhelming force and for getting behind enemy lines. And remember, a lot of these objectives are sticky right now, and they control them. The only objective that the Space Marines are going to get is this one up here. But I did pick up 4 points for Bring It Down, for taking on a big beastie in the Demon's turn. And I have got an additional card, because at the start of the battle round, I was losing by more than 5 points. So I'm going to get one of the challenge cards from the new mission deck as we go on to Space Marines Turn 4. So here's this challenge card here, and I need to defend my stronghold, storm a hostile objective, and kill at least 2 models, but from 2 different units. Right. Desperate stuff calls for desperate measures. I called out the assault doctrine so I could advance and charge, and this unit came running along the balcony, and I made a unit of plague bearers, the oath of moment target. Out of all the targets I could pick, it's a unit of plague bearers. But we want them dead, so we came advancing over there, and then we're going to leap off, kill them all, and fall back onto that objective. It's going to be glorious, but you're doing a chaosy thing. What's the chaosy thing?
I've got that Shadow of Chaos thing, so I can pick 1 unit within Shadow of Chaos.
Yes.
And if he fails Battle Shock, he takes mortal wounds, and it's not Captain Lysander.
You're doing Lysander.
I'm afraid so. I don't want to, but I do.
So it's leadership 8.
Yes.
I've got to roll 8 or more.
Because he's standing right next to a
Or
very
he takes
scary Poxbrain.
D3 wounds, and he's only on 2 remaining.
He's pointing. It's
Yes.
you.
I'm going to pass this. We know no fear. See, I pass it. We're fine. With no fear.
I'm glad you did. Yeah.
So
You can't see his face.
That'll be fine. We'll jump down there. Right, that's fine. Over here, I'm staying in combat. I know the Demon Prince is going to kill the jumpy dudes, but we've got pistols. Pistol the Furies, wipe out the Furies. And then the Demon Prince kills them. The Demon Prince will have to stay here because it's linchpin. If he jumps away, you won't score that objective. So the Demon Prince is kind of stuck here. And that's fine. That's fine for you, fine for me. No. Over here, Gladiator fell back from combat, so isn't shooting, but taking that objective. And then the Fast Strike servo turrets kill that fly thing. And then I'm going to kill 2 models from 2 units, so that'll be some units dead. And then I want to kill Slimy Boy. So Tank came around this side, Gladiator, all the shots are going to shoot at him. What's Slimy Boy called? Bob. We're going to shoot Bob. We're going to kill Bob. We're going to flame the bearers of the word and then charge Bob if Bob is still alive from all the shots.
Which he will be.
If I pull this off, after only holding on to the linchpin objective for the entire game, all of a sudden I'm going to be on lots, the ones running down the middle. So let's start the shooting phase by killing Bob. We've got the guns on this thing, and it hits both of the times. It's strength 10. Wounds both of the time. Bob needs to make a couple of invulnerable saves.
4-ups.
Bob doesn't make either of them. And Bob takes... are you in mortal range? I don't think you're in mortal range. Bob takes 5 wounds. 7 wounds, sorry. That was the laser thing on top, so that kills Bob.
It does.
Oh. Bob's dead. Okay. Well, I had this giant tank to shoot at some things now, and all the flamers from the aggressors. These plague bearers are going to get overkilled. And a million dice rolls later, the aggressors plus the tank with its vast array of firepower have got rid of those plague bearers. Right, pistols into combat. Let's kill some Furies. We hit them on 3s, no sustained there, and we're going to be wounding them on 3s, and they're twin linked, and they have a 5-up save and 1 wound a time. Right, Furies are gone. That's good, because we want to keep the Demon Prince back here. Then we come to this flank. Fire Strike servo turrets fire everything at single Fury remaining. Rolled a few dice and dead Fury. And now We're charging.
You can shoot first.
I'm going to shoot with so yeah, but you're in combat with not Darneth Lysander, so we can't shoot you.
Yep.
In fact, those plague bearers plus this demon prince is all you have left on the table,
and some furies over
and
there.
some furies into that tank. Yeah, but you are winning by about 20 points. Let's go charging in. You make the charge. Right, so we come leaping off the top rope, and then the pile-in has allowed everyone to get in combat. Let's save our warlord. Hitting on 3s. 6 is lethal. Re-rolling. And then 4s to wound, because they are the oath of moment. That wasn't great. I've seen better. 5 up and vulnerable saves?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5?
5.5.
5.5. 5.5. Then the lieutenant on 2s. Re-rolling. Strength 5 versus toughness 5 with +1 a wound is 3s to wound. 2 more saves. I kill that injured fella. So you're fighting back.
Yep.
Trying to take down Darneth Lysander. Not Darneth Lysander. They're critical. Right, okay. And then...
Not them. So 2 3-ups.
2 3-ups. He's on 1 wound.
Poxbringer. 4
Okay.
6.
You hit.
2 crits. 5.
You hit
3.
and wound 3 times.
Yes.
So these are 3-up saves and I can't fail 1. I've got a CP. I've got a new CP this turn. He'll be fine.
Oh.
Particularly if I spend the CP on a reroll. Think, oh yeah, I can't spend a...
Oh.
He's dead, no matter what.
There was a bright flash of light, though, just as the sword was going in.
I think there might be a flash of a teleport Homer as Darneth Lysander disappears and appears in the med bay of the battle barge up in space. And then I did the fight with the Inceptors over here against the Demon Prince, and it's a Demon Prince, I didn't wound it. And now the Demon Prince fights back again. Did I say Demon Prince enough there? What are you doing?
You get once a battle, 3 extra attacks, and I'm doing sustained hits.
Okay. So those 6s explode.
So that goes back in.
Yeah, okay. So you get 10 hits out of 6 attacks. That's not bad, is it?
Not too shabby.
Yeah.
3 to wounds.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. So you're saying there's a chance.
5 ups.
I just roll some 5s.
You just need some 5s.
No, he wipes out the unit.
Spot on.
And so, with the Demon Prince hanging in here on full wounds, with 3 Plague Bearers and the Poxbringer there, and then some Furies battling against this tank. That's all that remains of the Demons of Nurgle. And we did this fight too. I managed to kill a Fury. You didn't do anything to the tank. I need to look at some points though. So currently, with the Space Marines defending their stronghold, they have 37 points to the Demons, 59. And the Demons are going to pick up 3 points for holding on to their linchpin objective over there, getting them to 62 points to 37. But I'll get 3 points for this. 62 points to 40. And then I do score my primaries at the very end of the game. So I'm saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance for the 13th to come back. All comes down to these secondaries in turn 5. So it's 62-37 in favour of the Demons. And after spending CP to recycle some cards, they want to secure no man's land and engage on all fronts. And here we are at the very end of Demons turn 5. Just moving, no shooting, no charging. The unit of Plague Bearers who were engaged with that tactical squad have fallen back. And they are now securing no man's land. For one objective in no man's land, I think it's worth 2 points. They're also in that table quarter because they've taken that objective off the Gladiator Valiant. So that's good, just blending back through the wall. And then this demon is in this table quarter, and the Furies are in this table quarter, battling, scrabbling at the sides of a Gladiator Valiant. And then you're making me take a battle shock test on this fella down here because the shadows of chaos. I'm fine. And I think that's it. We did the banging against the side of the tanks, nothing happening. And yeah, 2 points for securing no man's land. I think a couple more points for engaging on all fronts. I'm getting 3 points for defending my stronghold. And then I will score my primaries at the end of the turn. So let's go on to Space Marines turn 5. Here are the orders for the 13th. Display of Might. get more units in no man's land than the opponent, and the opponent hasn't. There's hardly any Chaos Demons left. That should be easy. Cleanse objectives in no man's land, and I have the Challenger objective as well. Okay. Me and Pooh will have been chatting in the background. We've been chatting in the background about what needs to occur here. It's 40 to 66. And if I shoot these off this objective, or at least enough so that my tank scores this objective, then I get 5, 10, 50. I max out the primary objectives, and it'll be 55 points to 66. I'll be 11 behind. 11. And then display of might I'm automatically doing because you don't have anything left. Cleanse, they can cleanse that objective, and the intercessors in the middle can cleanse that objective. And then I'm 2 points behind. Just 2 points behind. And I've got this stupid thing. 1 unit from my army needs to be 15 inches away from all other units from my army. And it can't be these guys because they need to cleanse. It can't be those guys because they need to cleanse. It can't be those guys because they need to score them. The tank can't really get far enough away. That can't get far. It's going to be these. These guys are going to need to make a run for it. Like a proper run off of there, down there, into this corner, then move the turret that way and then that. Because this objective is sticky, right? So if I move the tank over here, there we go, tank moves over there. Then we'll run the fire strike servo turret this way. It's going 8, so that's good, that's good. And measuring and things, gonna need to roll a 3 for the assault intercessors to leap down and get away from all the other units. We got this. That's a 2. That's a 2. Command point. It's a 3. Right, we're more than 15 inches away from all the things. And then we need to cleanse, and we need to shoot the crap out of these guys here. Yeah. So let's shoot this. And if I fail to kill these, and you make all your invulnerable saves, you're going to win.
I hate to tell you, the Poxspringer's got a 5 up, feel no pain.
The Poxspringer's got a 5 up, feel no pain.
He has.
You're telling me now.
I'm telling you now.
They're the open moment target, dude. They're the open moment. Here's the fast strike servo turret. So I've got a re-roll, and then instead of wounding you on 3s, I'm wounding you on 2s, and they're twin linked. Right, there you go.
Nothing but 5s and 6s come in right up.
5 up and buns.
Oh, that's a problem.
That kills all the dudes.
There's 4 dudes dead and 4 wounds on the Poxspringer, so 4 feel no pains on him. He takes 3, so he's down to a couple.
Well, it's 3 damage as well, so he's got to take 2 more feel no pains. Now that's 4 wounds. He's got 1 left.
He's got 1 left.
He's got 1 left.
Yep.
So the tank shoots him.
Yep.
The tank shoots him. Here's the multi-melters. And they are Oath of Moment. And then 2s to wound him. Those are the multi-melters.
And yeah,
he's gone.
He did it.
He's gone. We take this objective. And then we rolled some more dice. The Fury's headbutting the tank. No damage caused on either side. And then there's a demon over here. And that's all that remains for the demons of Nurgle. And then we checked and double checked and triple checked the rules. And yeah, we got it right. Somehow that was a 20-point swing at the end, making the final score 67 to 66.
77, 76. Yeah.
77 to 76. Yeah, there's a point in it. There's a point in it. And because of the new chapter approved mission deck, where you can get an extra 3 points if you're a bit, but that's what did it.
It was clutch.
Like with the Pariah Nexus mission deck, Leviathan mission deck, you wouldn't have been able to get those extra 3 points. But yeah. So the 13th win somehow, and this is the way the world ends.
Yeah, you've got more material on the table.
I've definitely got a few more bits left, but your push was overwhelming, and overwhelming. And even when the big stuff died, the objectives were still sticky. I had to get past the push, and it was just, every mission, every battle I have with you is close. It's glorious. Thank you very much.
This was like as good as the final dice roll almost as our very first game, but this was brilliant. And that we talked about at the beginning of the game that I was always going to have to push forwards, and I was losing my assets, and some of the stuff that I thought would be harder to kill wasn't. But then some of the stuff that should have died more easily, the giant spawn, just stayed and stayed and stayed.
You did
So it's
4 6s in a row
brilliant
on that
game.
giant
Yeah,
stalk.
yeah. So that was brilliant, and that was important for keeping that objective on that side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
brilliant game.
I think you played Nurgle Demons exactly how you want to, because they don't kill very much. Like, if you actually look at my dead pile, I've lost about a quarter of my army, not much more, whereas you've lost most of yours. But what you do is just overwhelm.
Yeah.
And they're hard to get rid of, they're hard to shift, and they just swallow.
It is also, I played a few games with Kraken and Stylus a while ago, and the trouble with the Demons rules is if you don't dominate the midfield and you don't get the Shadow of Chaos rules, then it becomes harder. At least I had the Shadow of Chaos, and so although it wasn't really doing very much to you, it was just little tweaks to me. So it didn't change the game very much, to be honest, but it was tremendous fun.
See, that Battle Shock thing with the Shadow of Chaos,
it's not very strong.
It's not very strong. No. They need to take a look at that, but it does allow for those clutch moments here or there.
It killed Lysander.
It did kill Lysander.
No, it triggered him to retreat.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and some very good plays of you, like moving out of combat, swallowing them up, and that was tactical AF. The board was really interesting to play on as well.
Yeah.
Big shout out to P-Work Wargames for the battle mat and marchofwar.co.uk for all the scenery, and check out Wolf Boot Chronicles. Wolf Boot Chronicles. Pootle will pin or write something in the comment section below, which I will pin, which will take you to the link to the blog spot and everything that all the Wolf Boot guys run. But that was glorious. I had fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. I like killing demons.
I like losing to the 13th.
You like losing?
I was secretly cheering them on.
Anyway, we do hope you enjoyed that battle report. Happy wargaming.